Trade Agency and Tridge Accelerate Access to top Italian food exporters. We'll just give it about 30 seconds for people to join, and then we will get started. Okay, I think we can jump in. So yes, welcome again, everyone, to how the Italian Trade Agency and Tridge accelerate access to top Italian food exporters by Tridge. So before we jump into the presentation itself, I would like to give you just a brief overview of Tridge itself. So at Tridge, we're building a global trade community in the food and agricultural industry by blending professional networks with advanced data intelligence. So we are a agricultural and food trading as well as intelligence company. Some of our core services includes the newly launched Tridge Eye, which is an AI enhanced and powered our AI enhanced and powered intelligence service, which drives business profitability and efficiency with the AI-powered intelligence system, and it synergizes or synthesizes market data and operations data into strategic intelligence. It also allows you to use your own data, your own company data, and integrate it with Tridge's system to allow for better decision making. We also have Tridge Pay, which is a secure escrow service for cross-border transactions. Then we also have an export solution, which is the first agri business-to-business marketplace built on trust. Its purpose is to create trust and facilitate trade between export buyers and sellers. And then we also have our fulfillment solution, which is an end-to-end global fulfillment service, which leverages Tridge's trade network or its global network for agri-trade, which are guaranteed to be safe, reliable, and transparent. So for the webinar today, we break it up into 3 different sections. Section 1 will cover the Made in Italy opportunity and the Italian Trade Agency's digital strategy. That will be followed by Inside the Italian Trade Agency, Tridge Pavilion and Buyer Journey. And that'll be followed by a panel discussion. We have 3 panelists joining us today. And if we have some time at the end, we will take questions from the audience. So if you have any questions, either about the topic for the ITA or for Tridge, please feel free to use the chat function and to interact with us. We'll do our best to get to these questions during the webinar itself. If we don't get to it during the webinar, we will follow up within a week with answers to your questions. So please feel free to use the chat function and engage with us. So my name is Ben Lateghan. I'm a global market analyst here at Tridge. I'll be your host today and facilitate the webinar. I'm joined by my colleague, Bojan Mijatovic, also a global market analyst. He will be taking the first part of our presentation today. We're joined by Sean Yoon, a product manager from the HQ in South Korea, as well as Deborah Gu, an account management team lead, also based in South Korea, Emanuele Seletti, as a panelist, and then Alper Akurt, global supply chain manager from Turkey. So we have a nice and diversified panel of presenters and panelists joining us today, for giving us different perspectives on the topic at hand. Then I would like to welcome Fernando Giuli from the Italian Trade Agency. as a guest speaker today. So Fernando, I'm going to hand over to you. You can tell us a little bit more about the Italian Trade Agency, and then we can jump into the webinar itself. So over to you.
Hi, Ben. Thank you for this introduction, and hi to everyone, wherever you are from. Today we are very glad to attend this opportunity to give us more guidance to all the business interested in exploring opportunities in doing business with Italy. We have been establishing this partnership with Tridge, and I would like to thank to express a special thanks for the opportunity that Tridge gave us in this first project we started last year and is still underway with the promoting the Italian products in the Tridge platform and B2B platform. It's the first time we do a project like this with a Korean partner for not only for the Korean market, because of course it's worldwide. It's a worldwide scope, but of course there is a special focus on Korea. So that's why our office in Seoul and the Trade Commissioner here in Seoul has been in charge of this project from our agency side. ITA, Italian Trade Agency, has a long history, is founded in the 1926, so we are approaching our 100th anniversary, and basically our mission is still the same, of course, in changing times are changing, global landscape, but the mission is still to support Italian business, Italian companies in doing business internationally. And so the foreign trade and investments have been always our key focus. We are in Korea since 1979. And in the last few years, our strategy, especially for promoting Made in Italy, has been changing, taking consideration the changing global landscape. So we have been more and more exploring new strategies, new projects, taking advantages of the digital transformation of foreign trade. And so this project with Tridge is really a very good example of it. And the reason why we have been focused on a food-focused platform is because, as you probably know, Italy, the food industry in Italy is one of the pillars of our economy. And Italy is a worldwide leader in terms of high quality food products. A few numbers, they just give you the idea about the Italian leadership. One is about the number of certified denomination of origin. We have more than 300 certified denomination of origin products according to the European Union standards. And also we are leading worldwide in many different product categories, such as, for example, pasta, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, cheese, processed meats, processed vegetables, especially tomato, but not only, and much more, including chocolate, ice cream, and other bakery products. So, I mean, the range of Italian products is really huge, because in Italy is really one of the key industries, and still driven by innovation, by passion and by attention to the tradition and also to developing new solution and new products for the global consumers. So we are really glad that we have been working together with Tridge to provide an important opportunity for our products, our companies, made in Italy company products to access more partners globally through the Tridge platform. So again, I would like to thank Tridge for this opportunity. And as a Italian Trade Agency Seoul office, we are here available to assist all the Italian companies and also the other companies that they are willing to establish relations and business with Italy and with Italian producers. So thank you again for this opportunity. I'm here also with my colleague and our senior trade analyst for food sector in Seoul, Miss Kim Hyun-jin, Francesca, for all Italian friends. So we are here. Thank you, and good wishes for this for the success of this webinar today. Thank you.
Fernando, thank you. Thank you for that introduction to the ITA, and as well for your presence, taking the time to be here with us today. Okay, so let's jump into our webinar, the first part of our webinar, the Made in Italy opportunity and the Italian trade agency's digital strategy. I'm handing over to Bojan Mijatovic for this first section.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Fernando, for the introduction. Welcome once again from my side and Tridge side on Tridge webinar, discussing how we can contribute to Italian trading agency and all the buyers for and Tridge Pavilion. So let's start with the first slide on connecting global buyers with premium Italian products. So let's look at the key collaboration that ITA's partnership with Tridge has brought. The ITA is modernizing its agri-food export promotion by partnering with Tridge, which Fernando mentioned. This is embracing digital data-driven solution. What does this mean? So Tridge platform enhances ITA's export efforts by connecting buyers with producers, boosting sales, and strategically strengthening ITA's global brand. This synergistic partnership combines ITA's market connections with Tridge's innovation, aiming to improve global market access for Italian food producers. Since we have a lot of ground to cover, I will quicken a little bit our presentation for today. So regarding the future product categories on Pavilion, so what are these products offering? These are premium categories, like Ferdinando also mentioned, that you might find showcased on the Italian Pavilion. First, of course, is pasta, Italy's beloved culinary gem. We're talking about authentic pasta crafted from durum wheat semolina in all the glorious shapes and forms. Then the bakery products, olive oil, oleo, truffle products, also tomato sauce, and finally the vinegar. Moving on to the next slide. So how has, in the previous period, how has Italian food export grown? So the quality and diversity of these products have fueled a phenomenal growth story, the Italian food boom. The numbers speak for themselves. So Italy's agri-food exports have almost doubled over the past decade. We've seen a jump from approximately $32 billion in 2013 to over $55 billion by 2024. That's truly remarkable and sustained growth. What's leading this charge? The leading exports include global favorites like wine, uncooked pasta, and a delightful array of bread, pastry, and cheese. So, and who are the primary targets of Italian traders? So Germany, of course, the United States, France, and the United Kingdom are the main markets for Italian traders. But this is not just what the Italian traders are aiming for. The story doesn't end there. We are seeing a significant growth in emerging markets, particularly in Asian countries. For instance, Korea's import value for Italian food has skyrocketed by an impressive 45.71% since 2020, reaching up to $452 million. Underpinning all this, Italy's brand power is amazing. So this isn't just about taste, it's about trust. Authenticity and quality are ensured through rigorous Italian origin certifications like PDO, Protected Designation of Origin, and PGI, Protected Geographical Indication, which consumers worldwide recognize and value. Moving on to the next slide. So, big breakdown to the specific market. For example, the demand for Italian food in Korea. On our regional insight on our Tridge platform, we cover both the retail reports on the processed commodities as well as the raw commodities. So on this slide, we have particular focuses on the Korean market. So we have seen a surge in export and a strong demand from premium products from Italy. For example, Italian olive oil exports saw an incredible 141% increase year over year from January to November 2024. This highlights a significant shift toward higher value goods. Korea is a key Asian market with strong demand for premium Italian brands like Barilla and Di Vella. So let's look at the consumer preferences and trends. There's a clear desire for genuine Italian products. Alongside this, there's also a growing demand for convenient meal options that don't compromise on the authentic taste. A recent strategy proved really successful, like market entry strategy from partnership between Pulmone, a major Korean food company, and Barilla to launch artisan home meal replacement pasta, which demonstrates the market potential for high quality, convenient Italian food solutions tailored to local preferences. On this next slide, you can see a specific feature on the Korean market: use of olive oil in ice creams. So this showcases an incredible Korean cuisine and innovation that marks the Korean market. With this incredible growth and evolving consumer landscape, what does the Made in Italy opportunity look like moving forward? So let's start with the opportunities for the Italian traders. So first, there's a continuously growing consumer preference for authentic Italian products. People want the real deal. Second, the global gluten-free pasta market, which we also cover in our retail reports as well. It shows that this is a significant room for expansion. This includes pasta made from alternative grains like corn, rice, lentils, and chickpeas, catering to the diverse dietary needs. And third, as we touched upon previously mentioning, premium Italian oils in markets like Korea represent a clear opportunity. Korea's premium oil market is currently undersaturated, and with an existing Italian presence, there's a strong case for expansion. One of particular uses of olive oil, as seen on the right, is, like I mentioned before, the combination with ice cream. I must mention that this is also not a unique feature for Korea. This is also present in the United States, but it's really trending in Korea. So, however, it's important to acknowledge also the challenges. So there's a persistent threat from the Italian-sounding products. So items that mimic Italian branding but lack genuine origin and quality. This again underscores the need for even stronger proof of origin, making certification, which I mentioned before, like PDO and PGI, more crucial than ever to protect authenticity and consumer trust. Finally, success requires adaptation. The company like Barilla and all the other major global companies are in a constant need to adapt to regional variation and taste preferences. course, the price navigation and specific health trends to truly resonate with local consumers worldwide. So to sum it all up, Korean market offers opportunity, and the Italian export growth has been consistent in the previous decade. On to you, Ben.
Bojan, thank you for that. And then we can move on to the second part of our presentation by Sean, inside the Italian trade agency Tridge Pavilion and buyer journey. So Sean, over to you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Boyan. And thank you all for joining the webinar today. I'm Singhyun, a product manager at Tridge. I've managed the product development of the pavilion from the very beginning. Today, I'll walk you through what the Tridge Pavilion is, how the ITA Pavilion was built, how both buyers and suppliers can make use of it, and what's coming next for the pavilion in the future. Okay, to start with, let me introduce the Tridge Pavilion. The Tridge Pavilion is a digital showroom for exporters, built by partnerships with organizations like ITA. It brings together verified suppliers under a unified brand or origin, making it easier for buyers to explore trustworthy options all in one place. For buyers, the pavilion offers a curated and credible supplier selection by region, helping them discover authentic products and make confident sourcing decisions. For suppliers, it increases their global visibility, positions them alongside peer exporters, and helps them get discovered by verified international buyers who are actively sourcing. The ITA Pavilion, which was launched in late July 2024, is currently the largest pavilion on the platform, and a great example of how this initiative is being put into action. Since January 2024, Tridge Pavilion has become a key channel for connecting verified suppliers with global buyers through trusted partnerships. We've built 6 pavilions so far across Asia, Europe, and South America, featuring over 230 suppliers and more than 2,000 products. Each pavilion highlights a distinct origin or organization, from Korean ginseng to Italian olive oil and Ecuadorian chocolate. Among them, the ITA Pavilion stands out as the largest, both in terms of supplier count and product listings. Tridge Pavilion allows us to present national or regional specialties in a globally discoverable, buyer-friendly format. As I mentioned, the ITA Pavilion is our largest pavilion, a vibrant showcase of Italian food. It features 144 suppliers and nearly 1,700 products that span over 170 diverse categories from olive oil to rice. Visitors from 99 countries have explored the ITA Pavilion, with especially strong interest from South Korea, India, Vietnam, and the US. Top product categories driving the most visits include olive oil, pasta, wine, coffee beans, and truffle. Beyond internal platform browsing, the ITA Pavilion enjoyed extensive multi-channel exposure, including over 440K Tridge web banner impressions, 100K social media impressions, and more than 6 million newsletter opens. The ITA Pavilion launched through a 2-track process that ran in parallel to speed up delivery while maintaining quality. On one track, we guided suppliers through onboarding, joining Tridge, completing premium profiles, uploading product listings, and publishing their information. On the other, we developed the pavilion itself, from branding and content gathering to page development and final quality testing. The ITA Pavilion was launched when these 2 tracks were both complete. This simultaneous approach ensured the readiness of suppliers and a polished pavilion when we launched the pavilion. Now, let's take a closer look at what was built on the supplier side of the pavilion. Each participating company receives a professional digital identity in the form of a premium supplier profile. Through this profile, suppliers can showcase key business details, including their background, export history, certifications, and unique strengths. It also serves as a direct connection point. Buyers can see who represents the company, watch introduction videos, and reach out directly through the platform. To strengthen credibility and build buyer trust, each supplier profile also includes clear verification details, including business validations and certifications. This helps buyers assess reliability at a glance. Supplier visibility goes beyond the profile itself. They are actively promoted across the platform through prioritized search results, featured placements on relevant pages, and with the ability to publish posts for sharing updates or product highlights. This ensures that suppliers aren't just listed in the pavilion. They remain constantly visible and easy to discover throughout the buyer journey. Through their supplier profile, suppliers can upload information of their products, and each product a supplier chooses to showcase is given its own dedicated page. These product pages include all the essential information buyers need, such as specifications, origin, packaging formats, and high-quality images. From there, buyers can easily take the next step, whether it's messaging the supplier or viewing their full profile. Just like supplier profiles, product pages are designed to offer transparency and build trust. They clearly display product certifications along with supplier and representative details. This helps buyers quickly understand who they are engaging with without needing to review each profile in detail. These product pages aren't just limited to the pavilion. They also appear across the Tridge platform, including search results and product listings, which ensures that they stay visible throughout the buyer journey. Now let's take a closer look at the pavilion page itself, the centerpiece that brings together suppliers and their products under one unified space. While individual profiles highlight each supplier, the pavilion page focuses on introducing the supporting organization and presenting the suppliers as part of a collective group. For example, in the ITA Pavilion, the page introduces the Italian trade agency and its mission to support over 12,000 Italian companies abroad and promote foreign investment in Italy. It also includes a map component to show where suppliers are located, adding geographic context and visual engagement. By presenting suppliers as part of a trusted group, the pavilion strengthens their credibility and buyer trust, more than what standalone profiles can achieve on their own. It also highlights key supplier strengths, featured products, and even posts and supplier-generated posts to keep the page fresh and active. In addition to highlighting the pavilion's purpose and featured suppliers, the page is built for easy access and navigation. Buyers can reach the pavilion from multiple entry points, including Tridge's main navigation, daily newsletters, and dedicated banners on high-traffic pages. Once they arrive, they meet with a well-organized layout that brings together all participating suppliers and their products, with direct links to explore details and connect seamlessly. Buyers naturally encounter pavilion suppliers throughout their sourcing journey on Tridge. It begins when they join the platform and complete the verification process. Since Tridge focuses on building trusted, long-term relationships, both buyers and suppliers must be verified to actively engage. This can be done through a business email, registration certificate, or a business card. Once verified, buyers start exploring through product searches, market pages, newsletters, or by directly browsing the pavilion. From there, they move into the supplier profiles, review their product pages, and evaluate potential partners. When they are ready, they take action, either by messaging a supplier or submitting an RFQ to request a quote. This journey is designed to be seamless and trust-driven, making it easier for buyers to find the right suppliers and move forward with confidence. Now that I've shared the story of the Tridge Pavilion and the journey of the ITA Pavilion, I'd like to wrap up by briefly touching on what's ahead. At Tridge, our mission has remained the same from our very start: to bridge data and sourcing in a way that empowers smarter trade. We're continuing to integrate key insights such as prices, seasonality, and trade flows into the buyer experience, helping users make more informed and confident decisions. You can already see this direction in our recently deployed market pages, where suppliers' listings are complemented by relevant market context, especially useful for buyers that are unfamiliar with a specific product from a certain origin. Looking ahead, we see potential for bringing this data-driven approach into the pavilion experience as well, so that suppliers and products can be presented with even more context the buyers care about. And through our data-backed foundation, we will keep strengthening visibility across external search and in-platform channels, helping pavilion suppliers reach the right buyers more effectively. Thank you again for taking your time to hear this presentation.
Sean, thank you very much. I think that was very clear and concise on how the pavilion works. So before we jump into the panel discussion, I'm going to ask the panelists to introduce themselves. So I'm going to hand over to you guys. I think, Emanuele, introduce yourself first, then Deborah, and then we get to Alper, and then we will jump into the questions themselves. So Emanuele, please go ahead. You're muted, just unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay. Thank you, Ben, for hosting us today. Thank you for everyone is listening to us and is watching to us today. And I'm Emanuele. I'm currently based in Rome. I'm the account manager in Tridge for almost 3 years now. And I was also working in the initial step of the pavilion, helping with the onboarding as an Italian-speaking person during the initial steps of the Italian pavilion, and to ensure like a small transition while using the platform to the initial steps.
Okay, Deborah, over to you. Just you're muted as well. I think let's just unmute all the panelists and then we can.
Okay, great. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben, and thank you so much, everybody, to come into this webinar today. My name is Deborah, and I'm the account management team lead here from the HQ in Korea. So I collaborate with Emanuele, who's in Rome, who's just introduced himself, to really drive that strategic account planning and support in operational excellence and ensure that clients like VIP clients like ITA Seoul and ITA Roma achieve their long-term impact through our solutions. So I just wanted to thank everybody who's on here again to really understand what our partnership is all about. And we can't wait to be in further panel discussion. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. I'm Alper. I manage Turkey and the regional market at Tridge, where we connect buyers and suppliers globally and support smart decision making through our data and market intelligence solutions. So I'm here as an experienced account executive to share my insights about the benefits of our solutions.
All right, thank you guys. So we have 3 questions for our panelists today. So let's get right into the first one. So how does the ITA's vetting process within the pavilion specifically help buyers trust and accelerate their decisions when selecting new Italian suppliers? Emanuele, I'm going to hand to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, again. I think this is a very important question while speaking the Italian pavilion in general, because this vetting process plays a pivotal role in shaping how global buyers approach Italian sourcing. So this is not just a simple verification step, but instead it's a huge and detail-oriented process. And designed to ensure that only suppliers were truly export ready, but in terms of legal compliance, for example, or operational maturity and production capability, will be included into the pavilion. To the other side, for buyers, this dramatically reduces the burden of early stage diligence, for example. So rather than spending weeks validating a supplier's legitimacy, they can move forward because, there's two reputable institutions that have already done this. So I'm referring to ITA and Tridge. And this is especially valuable for buyers who may be new to the Italian market or less familiar with the complexities of sourcing from smaller and regional producers. And lastly, I would also say that as someone who is Italian, as myself, I see how this approach honors both commercial and cultural sides of our food industry, So many of the pavilion suppliers hold important quality certifications like DOP, DOCG, and this reflects on generations of craftsmanship and regional identity. Through this vetting process, the pavilion becomes more than a sourcing platform, I would say. It becomes a gateway to Italy's most trusted and high potential producers, but accessible in a way that is more structured and built for a long-term relationship, I would say. Yeah.
I just wanted to add on to that. Thank you, Emanuele. What he just said now is what really stands out, how this process really contributes to an environment of partnership, where we call it trust, especially in an important market like Italy, where what we've spoken about today about Made in Italy label holds such significance of weight. Many of the suppliers in the pavilion aren't just compliant, like Emmanuel said, they actually carry meaningful certifications. Also, what he said about the DOP, I believe in English is PDO, DOCG, the IGP, which is backwards again, PGI in English. So these aren't really just labels. They're signals of product quality, the origin, the integrity of that origin, the food safety, which all of them are really critical in today's regulatory environments. And from a buyer's perspective, you see, being able to source from a government validated and platform curated networks, it really means that they can bypass this trial and error phase that usually really hurts the international sourcing. Really, it creates that shortcut to partnership. And in our team's conversation with global buyers in the account management team, this is hands down one of the biggest reasons why they continue to return to the pavilion when sourcing Italian products. Maybe I could give it to Alper to add on to this.
Sure, Deborah, thank you. Yeah, I completely agree. And from my perspective and the commercial side, I have seen firsthand how this vetting process translates into real business momentum. And the pavilion doesn't just validate suppliers, it fundamentally shifts buyers' behavior. When buyers see that a supplier has already been vetted by both ITA and Tridge, they come to the table with a different level of confidence. Instead of spending valuable time on a basic compliance checks, they dive straight into high-value conversations, product specifications, volume planning, pricing structures, and logistics. This shift has a profound impact on the speed and quality of sourcing decisions. The pavilion acts as a trust accelerator in an industry where sourcing cycles are traditionally long and filled with risk aversion. Having that institutional trust built in is a genuine differentiator. It allows buyers to move faster and with greater clarity. And more importantly, it transforms the sourcing experience itself. And it's no longer a transactional back and forth. It becomes a strategic dialogue. It's all about positioning, scalability, and long-term fit. That kind of shift is what enables stronger partnerships, better deals, and ultimately more sustainable trade relationships between international buyers and Italian suppliers.
All right,
Thank you.
Alper, thank you. So let's move on to the next question. So beyond listing suppliers, what specific platform features or data insight might significantly speed up the sourcing process for buyers using the ITA Tridge Pavilion? Alper, you hand it to me. I think I'm going to hand this one straight back to you.
Okay. The Pavilion is far more than a supplier directory. It's a dynamic sourcing ecosystem that guides buyers from discovery to decision without losing momentum. What makes it so effective is the level of detail and actionability built into every supplier profile. And these aren't just listings, they include verified information like export history, production capacity, and certifications such as ISO, halal, and kosher. From my experience working directly with buyers, they often see them move quickly. I often see them move quickly, going from browsing to requesting quotes, samples, or even initiating secure transactions via Tridge Pay in a matter of minutes. That's because the Pavilion isn't just about visibility, it enables real immediate engagement. What really supports this is the data layer behind the platform. Buyers has access to historical pricing, demand trends, and seasonality insights, all of which helps them to make faster, more informed decisions. And with built-in messaging and intelligence supplier matching, communication flows easily and efficiently. And it's this combination of verified content, data intelligence, and actionable tools, and that allows the Pavilion to significantly accelerate the sourcing process, especially for buyers navigating a diverse and specialized market like Italy.
Yeah, I would also like to add something about what Alper shared from his commercial perspective, and I'd like to offer my view as an account manager side, where we work closely with both buyers and suppliers to ensure relationships that can grow beyond the first transaction. And I think that one of the key strengths of the Pavilion lies in its visual richness. So it's not just about having the data, but also it's about bringing suppliers to live in a way that builds that trust remotely in that sense. So buyers can view high resolution product photos, factory into videos, behind the scenes content that showcases the day-to-day production environment. And this transparency allows them to assess quality and operational scale without needing to travel. So without catching a plane or a train to visit a specific Italian company, which could be sometimes complicated. And for many buyers, especially sourcing from Italy for the first time, this visual depth helps bridge that initial trust gap. And furthermore, the Pavilion also makes incredible, easy to navigate options because we offer a wide range of intelligent filters. Buyers can source suppliers by, I don't know, maybe certification type, product category, region, other key criteria as well. From an account manager standpoint, this standardization is incredibly valuable because it simplifies the comparison process and allows us to guide buyers more efficiently towards suitable partners. Lastly, what I found particularly useful in maintaining strong buyer engagement platforms is real-time content updates. So the buyers and suppliers, but above all, suppliers can post something about their company. For example, seasonable products availability, new certifications, their participation to a specific event, expanding product capacity. And so in this way, buyers can always work with current information. This allows for more agile sourcing decisions, a long-term planning, and it also transformed the Pavilion from a static director into an evolving ecosystem that supports smarter, ongoing supplier buyer relationships. And, in the end, that's exactly what we aim to nurture in our team. So And I think so. Now, Deborah, it's over to you since we are collaborating in this account management team. So it's over to you.
Yes, thank you, Emanuele. And thank you so much for speaking so well on behalf of our team. I just wanted to build up and maybe wrap up number 2 to build on both of your points, which was more commercial and then now on more of the account management angles. I really like to highlight this in a one nutshell, I guess, point. It's communication. That is what really truly sets apart the Pavilion. Communication, communication, communication. So Pavilion is just not about only the supplier visibility. It's also about enabling immediate, meaningful interaction, buyer and supplier, right? Buyers can message suppliers directly through the platform. We can request supporting documents or even schedule virtual meetings. It's all in one-stop shop, all within a secure, verified environment. And as someone who's leading the account management team, I have in person seen how essential this seamless communication flow is really driving that speed and the momentum, keeping sourcing conversations and productive and alive from day one. Beyond that, though, the pavilion itself is constantly moving, evolving, and improving. Like what Alper and Emmanuel have said before, it's not just a static listing. It's dynamic, it's content rich, it's a pavilion for everyone. From real-time product, the product updates to the seasonal availability alerts, to supplier highlights and newsfeed, the platform continuously surfaces relevant, timely information. And that transparency is exactly what we need that has a real impact. So when buyer sees a living ecosystem rather than a flat catalog, I mean, we're moving really fast here. It instills that trust at the end of the day that I've spoken about in number 1. That really speeds up that data-driven insights and decision-making process. So this is really what we mean when we say it's not just a directory. It's truly a sourcing as a service. It's a smarter, much faster, and much collaborative way to connect with Italy's best suppliers. And I think if I have summed this up pretty well, maybe we could move on to the next question.
Yes, you definitely summed it up quite well, Deborah. I think the standout feature for me for Tridge Pavilion is the trust that it fosters in an increasingly digital world, especially for smaller buyers and suppliers. We do not have the resources to get on a plane, fly halfway across the world, build a relationship with a buyer or a supplier on that side. Yeah, I think that's the standout feature for it for me. It allows buyers and suppliers, depending on what side of the supply chain you are, to instantly connect with your counterparts on the alternative side of the supply chain. And you don't have to still build that trust. You can get directly into sourcing or selling the products that you are looking to do. So you can jump right into business and skip the not necessarily skip the pleasantries in between, but less resources need to go into that. So let's get into question number 3. So looking ahead, what is the most significant opportunity or challenge for global buyers using digital platforms like this to connect effectively with diverse range of Italian food producers? Alper, can you get us started on that one?
Sure, Ben. I think one of the most important opportunities for global buyers is the ability to easily discover and connect with Italian producers who were previously hard to reach. Italia's agri-food sector, as we know, is incredibly diverse, filled with small and mid-sized producers who make amazing high-quality products, often with strong regional roots and traditions. But in the past, many of these companies didn't have the tools and exposure to connect with international buyers. So the pavilion helps solve that. It brings them onto one trusted platform where buyers around the world can find them, learn about their products, and start conversations in a much more accessible way. Of course, there are still challenges. Many of these producers are just starting to get used to digital tools and global business practices. They may not always respond quickly, or they might need help understanding documentation or meeting buyer expectations from an account management or account executive perspective. We sometimes see these gaps causing delays or confusion early on. That's why digital platforms like ours need to do more than just connect buyers and suppliers. We also have to guide both sides, helping suppliers become more confident and responsive while making sure buyers feel supported and informed throughout the process. And we are here to be the trusted advisor team for you at Tridge. And that's all for me. Deborah, curious to hear your perspective on this.
Thanks, Alper. And thank you for pretty much reintroducing our account management team and what we like to call ourselves the trusted advisor team as well. So I completely agree with that. You see, the opportunity here is really massive. Pavilion, buyer, supplier connect together in one-stop shop. But as you said, realizing that opportunity really comes down to how well we manage that cultural and operational gaps between both the global buyers and the Italian suppliers. So that's where the Pavilion, like I said, stands out. It just doesn't provide access only. It also provides structure and human support. We do talk about AI, we talk about how this is a one-stop shop being online, but we do also have us, the human support, to make sure that those connections truly work. And what I really find that's quite powerful here about the Pavilion is that it doesn't just rely on, like I said, the automation part. Yes, the technology part is very advanced, but what truly makes it effective is that human layer. I keep saying the account management are the trusted advisor. So just like this team of account managers and customer success for onboarding and support teams, other cross-functional support teams, we play a hands-on role to make sure that the platform is not just functional, but usable, also relatable on all fronts. And on the supplier side, we work really closely with producers to help them present themselves clearly and professionally. Like we were talking about onboarding, it's polishing their profiles, making sure they're relevant, clarifying their product specs, preparing documentation that really aligns with the global expectations for trade. And a lot of these producers are incredible at what they do, but they just need that tweak in order for them to be pavilionized, I just made that word up, in how to communicate that value to international buyers. And obviously from the buyer side, we offer the continuous support and reassurance as buyers throughout the process, which means we help interpret some local text, local context. I mean, case in point, Emanuele sitting out of Roma, managing expectations, support negotiations. And it's not just about closing a deal or a partnership, but it's making sure we have that long-term partnership so that both sides feel absolutely secure, confident, informed, respected all along the way. And in a market like Italy, where relationships are, from what I know, built on trust, just like the Koreans, and long-term thinking, that personal touch is what's really making the deal, what really make it or break it, the long-term partnership that we have here with Tridge. The Pavilion may be digital, like I said, but the experience that it offers is deeply human. So that's how we make global trade feel local, and that's how we help buyers and suppliers from partnerships that actually last. So I want to maybe toss it to Emmanuel, who's sitting out of Italy, Roma, and to wrap up this conversation.
Yeah, I think that question, is more based on my personal point of view as an Italian person. And thank you, Deborah, above all, because I want to highlight once again something that you said, so the personal, the human touch, because I think sometimes during commercial conversation, doing sourcing, there's something unspoken, and I'm mostly referring to the emotional dimension of Italian food. As you can imagine, it could be sometimes like a stereotype, but it's not that. I think here in Italy, food is not just, a product. It means identity. It means family. It's regional pride passed down through generations and generation. And so when international buyers choose to work with Italian producers, many of them are just looking for, just for efficiency or price. Instead, I think they're looking for a connection, authenticity, something that it's tied to the land, to the people, and to our tradition behind each product. What the pavilion enables, I think, is exactly that. So it means that it gives a buyer access, so it's not just a supplier list, but it's like presenting, showcase stories, for example, of a family-run company producing Parmigiano in Emilia-Romagna, so the Bologna region, or I don't know, a seafood producer from a very little village in Sicily. I think sourcing in this way also means to experience the real Italy, that something very far from all the touristic thing that we're experiencing now in the social media, for example, but while still operating at the same time within a structured, scalable sourcing environment. But I also think that to maintain that authenticity at scale, we need to strike the right balance between technology and empathy. Yes, the platform must continue to evolve because digital tools are consistently evolving, changing, and we're always working to improve that tools, the data, and the user experience. But at the same time, it's equally important our human support, what we are doing, the account management team, for example, in the account management team, or with the cross-functional specialist, so the account executive, product team, all the other teams that help in to build up this pavilion, will help makes also this relationship feel more personal and long-term. And to wrap up my answer, I would like also to add that if we get this balance right, we are doing more than streamlining trade. So we're building real, lasting relationships rooted in trust, cultural understanding, and shared goals between Italy and the rest of the world, I would say.
Thank you, Emanuele, and thank you to all the panelists. I think, Emanuele, what you said there at the end, it's very important not to lose the human aspect of interacting when you're interacting with somebody halfway across the world. And Deborah put it very well, making global trade feel local. I think that is a very important aspect. So making it feel like you're actually dealing with a person while also using a very trusted system. And I think that's what Tridge Pavilion provides at the end of the day. So thank you for panelists. Thank you for our presenters. So unfortunately today we don't have time to get into a Q&A session, but if you have any questions, feel free to send it through to us, send it in the chat. You can send us an email as well, and we will get back to you on that. So before we end off, there is a survey that will be sent to you. If it's not already been sent, it will send after the presentation. If you would like a certificate of participation in this webinar, please fill out that survey, and we will get the certificate of participation to you, as well as a copy of the presentation. You can also find the recording of the presentation and the panel discussion on YouTube after this webinar is finished. So then lastly, to the services we mentioned at the start, we have the Tridge Pavilion, but we also have our newly launched Tridge Eye, which is our AI-powered intelligence solution. It has 3 key features, which is Eye Speaker, which is there to detect opportunities and risks early through real-time AI market reporting, to optimize your risk mitigation strategies and allow you to make better purchase decisions. We also have iShelf, which is there to provide you with and analyze global food and trade data from a micro level all the way to a global macro level, to allow for strategic alignment with yourself, with the global market, as well as to cut down on your market analysis time and costs. And then we also have iBook, which is there to optimize strategic trade operations, to maximize your team's efficiency and to ensure consistent execution. Then we also have Tridge Pay, which is a secure escrow service for cross-border transactions in partnership with Deutsche Bank. So if you need that kind of service, feel free to contact Tridge as well. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email, send us a message in chat. I think Bojan shared the contact details of our presenters and panelists as well. So please feel free to get into contact with us. And from us here at Tridge, thank you very much for joining our webinar, and we thank the Italian Trade Agency for taking the time to join us as well. So from all of us here, thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.